Morning, everyone. We're Terch Products. My name is CJ Walker.
And I'm Dustin Newman.
So we're business majors at the Citadel, and what we do with Terch is we take used baseball rain tarps and repurpose them into products to be sold back to baseball fans.
So the problem with these tarps are they're enormous. They're 160 feet by 160 feet, and they contribute to pollution on our earth, which we're all trying to be conscious to. They also take up a lot of landfill. So, and as well as that, they're also a nuisance to dispose and a waste of product material. Our solution to that is environmentally friendly. We take the nuisance from the baseball teams and the stadiums. We take it away for them, we dispose of them, and we repurpose them into authentic fan memorabilia. As you can see here, this is one of our belts. The product here, we're not selling the belt itself, we're selling the tarp. The tarp is a piece of the field the fan gets to take home. As you can see, that can hold a lot of sentimental value to a player or a player and a fan, especially if they have a good year, or say it's opening day and someone wants to take home something to commemorate that season and to really support their team. So we're also offering a line of bags. We will sell about 10,000 bags. We make 10,000 bags, 10,000 belts and 4,000 bags. We'll sell the belts for about $119 a piece and the bags for about $99. We also will include a certificate of authenticity with each product, labeling 1 to 1,000 and 1 to 4,000, ensuring that your item is authentic and a piece of the field as well as one of a kind.
So for our business model, as Dustin mentioned, we produce 10,000 belts per tarp in addition to 4,000 belts within the same tarp. So like he said, $119 for a belt, and it costs $30 to make each belt, which provides a gross profit margin of just under 400%. In addition, for the bags, he mentioned that they retail for $99. They cost only about $7 to produce, which leaves a gross profit margin of about 1,400%.
And for our market, we would like to sell in-store, in the fan store, and as well as the concession stands at the game. So as you can see, say your favorite team has just won the World Series or it's opening day and they won their first game, and you walk by and you see this belt, and you're like, wow, that is awesome. And they're advertising that it is a part of the field you could take home. As you can see, that can be a very emotional buy for a fan and a customer, and they would really want to take that home. Also, we're trying to expand on online so you can be able to have it and be able to buy it at your convenience. Say you live in Atlanta and you want to go buy a team that lives in Florida, you can just buy it online.
So what we need to launch, first and foremost, obviously, the number one priority, we need a tarp. Right now we're in talks with the Associate Athletic Director at the Citadel, and we're talking about the tarp at Joe Riley Park. If you don't know, the Citadel Bulldogs baseball team shares a stadium with the Charleston River Dogs, and so that actually provides an opportunity to split the product line, half of it for the River Dogs, half of it for the Citadel Bulldogs. In addition, we're working on a connection with the Atlanta Braves, with the president of business at the Braves, and we're hoping to launch with the Atlanta Braves. That would be the most ideal. Secondly, we are working on a bag concept. As you can see with the belt design, it's really high quality, and we don't want to rest on a bag concept until it's just as high quality as a belt. And we need a better manufacturing plan, because the belt manufacturers only do belts, and for our bag manufacturers, we would hope to have it so that our manufacturing is all done under one roof. And thirdly, we need to develop a better website store so that we can have customers, like he said, shop online.
Here's our contact information. If you have any questions, please let us know, or if you're interested in our product.
We're Terch Products. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So how many tarps, like take one stadium, let's say the Atlanta Braves, or let's say Atlanta Braves. How many tarps per year are thrown out or available?
They get a new one every season.
So it's one per season. Okay,
sir.
gotcha. So that's why there's a limited edition 10,000
Yes, sir.
for each tarp. Okay, gotcha. And currently, what do they do with them after the year?
They just throw them away.
And are they in pieces or are they in one giant sewn together?
It's one large tarp. Whenever they take it off the field, I'm not sure if they do cut it up, but we would go and get it off the field for them, so it would be together.
Okay. Okay.
Have you taken that cost factor into consideration with your product cost? The cost to gather the tarp,
Yes, sir.
transport it, and all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm just wondering is there a method to protect yourself from other people? Like you did this for the Braves, and all of a sudden the Yankees and the Red Sox think that's a cool idea. So is there a method to protect other people from just stealing the idea?
A plan would be, once we get a deal secured with, say, the Braves, immediately jump on, hire a sales team to go and call and connect with every other major league team to basically secure contracts as soon as possible with other organizations.
And we're also working to trademark it and copyright it.
Yes, sir.
And I'm guessing they would want some kind of profit sharing.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Basically
So
cover-
Major League Baseball, so if we were to get a licensing agreement for the Atlanta Braves with Major League Baseball, we would also have a licensing agreement with every other organization. So it's just Major League Baseball. So they get 14%. And actually for each organization, Major League Baseball, they cut it up into basically 30 once, like tenths, but in this case 30 once. So each Major League team gets a piece of it, and the Major League Baseball gets that 31st share of the 14%.
So I guess what would you be asking for? What do you need?
We would need about $340,000 to launch.
And what is is this an actual
Yes,
similar type material?
Yes, sir. This
Is it canvas and plastic on the bottom, or?
Yes,
And this is also what our,
It's like a.
this is just a prototype, but we'd work on it. This
This
is
is made
the
out of
authenticity. Yes, sir.
obviously a prototype. I wish we had.
But it's made from a real tarp.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
This is the other. And this is all genuine stitching.
And tell me about how you would market and sell because it is a limited edition. You have a limited number. You can't just produce 100,000 of these things.
Yes, sir.
Is that part of your marketing and sales plan?
Yes, sir. So, like you said, we do the certificate of authenticity
Right.
and label each one. And on the inside, we'd label 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 10,000,
Okay.
4,000.
And with Major League Baseball, they actually have their own authentication process. So it's kind of like a hologram type thing, and it's put here, and you can actually has a code where you go online to Major League Baseball authentication, and you can actually basically match it to guarantee that it is authentic.
Have you run this by anybody at MLB yet?
Actually, we ran it by Dr. Harvey Schiller. He's a Citadel grad in 1960, and we actually talked to him yesterday. He was a former president of the Yankees, and he said it was interesting. He thought it was cool, and working on more connections there.
He's also going to introduce it to his son, who's the president of business for the Atlanta Braves. And we're also talking to the current athletic director for the Citadel and working on getting the Citadel tarp to start at the Citadel.
Is it?
Interesting.
Audience? Yeah, right here.
Great presentation. On your certificate of authenticity, does it have anywhere that this tarp was from this season, or what season it's from? Is it on the belt anywhere? It's like with the Cubs, I know this past season would have been a really great season to have a piece of that history, whereas some of the other years not so much, and the price point might be a little bit different. So I don't know if it's on your information anywhere what season that this is from.
Yes, ma'am. We would include the season and the year, and of course, if they won the World Series or they're playoff champs, we'd include that as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Got one question over there.
What is your cost to make the belts, and what do you plan to sell them for?
The belts would be $30 to make, and we plan to sell them at $119 a piece. Like she mentioned, say it was a World Series, a belt from when the Chicago Cubs won the first World Series for them in 108 years. It would be a lot more than 119, probably about 199 or so. Yes, sir.
Back here.
Say that, let's go with the Braves, they have a bad season, we already made 10,000 bells out of the tarp. What are you going to do with
We're going to commemorate them getting the #1 pick in the MLB draft.
Well, you don't make these until after the season's over.
Season. Yes, sir.
So.
Yep, right there.
Maybe I missed this. The tarps, are they already printed? Like, are you cutting them into strips, or is that an aftermarket process?
We cut them up and we stitch them on, and we stitch on the text.
The actual like logo and stuff.
Oh no, that's custom made.
Yeah, the logos are stitched on, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Claudia? Okay, okay. Got time for one more question? Yeah, or two. There we go.
One question. So $119 seems expensive to me. I'm not a baseball fanatic. How does this compare to other memorabilia? Where do you see yourself there?
So we also looked at belts. We've looked at belts from Vineyard Vines as well as the MLB. Vineyard Vines would sell belts from $50 to $200, and the MLB has belts for $50 to $165. But none of them have a piece of the field you could take home with you and that unique value.
But in that sense, I agree with you. I wouldn't pay $119 for a belt, unless, of course, it was from the tarp of the Atlanta Braves after winning the World Series. So I understand that. But I think there would be about 10,000 or so people that would.
Last question, Todd.
Yeah, you guys, so I know someone did this in Charlotte, North Carolina, actually, but with backdrops from churches. And what they ended up doing was employing the labor force of either disabled or people that needed a job skill. Do you guys consider doing something with your military background? Potentially could employ veterans from the military or coming out and then kind of use it. Then I think you can almost justify the cost of 119 if you're employing people that are learning a trade or a skill. Just an idea as you guys grow. And the other thing I think you should consider is wallets and look at your demographic of who's going to buy a tarp. I think more male-dominated potentially environments, not only the wallets versus or bags. Or the bags, if you're going to do it associated with a conference with MLB or whoever as a give out, that you can then sell to a large market presentation versus having to do one-offs.
Yes, sir.
Some ideas I've had to connect with you after. Thank you guys.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. CJ Walker and Dustin Newman, ladies and gentlemen.